Here are 4 games I've played so far this autumn, so without further ado, let's go. At number 4 we have Phobia, a simple 2D side-scroller released in 2018 by husband and wife duo. Phobia takes a hooded teenage girl on a journey through a forest. While the physics and gameplay are basic, the gorgeous cut-out art style with its sepia colour scheme more than makes up for this. A noticeable yet welcome feature is the absence of music, fittingly replaced with ambient forest sounds like chirping, the rustling of the wind, and rumbling waterfalls. Hearing your character treading through the foliage makes this quaint little game surprisingly immersive, given its simplicity and brevity, and it's the perfect starter for a full course of autumn joy. At around 15 minutes from start to end, Phobia is a great way to kill some time on a rainy autumn day. It's available on multiple platforms, including mobile, Steam, and the Nintendo Switch, where it currently retails for $9.99 on the US eShop. In third place we have The Stillness of the Wind. Released in February 2019 by lawyer-turned-indie game developer Memory of God, it's a beautiful yet melancholic meditation on life. You play as Telma, an old farmer who is the last remaining inhabitant of the farm she grew up in, as one by one all her family either passed away or left to pursue a life in the city. Armed with a cane, goats and chickens, you tend to your farm in a remote and desolate place, braving the elements and loneliness in a daily battle to survive. The Stillness of the Wind will test the patience of modern gamers who have grown up on a diet of fast-paced, action-packed games with stunning graphics and bags of content. I would even go so far as saying that, in a way, it's almost the quintessential anti-game. What I mean by that is that, whereas most games will have you start with a basic set of abilities and upgrade them as you progress through the story, in The Stillness of the Wind, your already aging character only gets slower and weaker as time passes. Simple tasks like watering plants and making cheese, already taking large chunks out of your day, will only take longer as days go by, ultimately culminating in the brutal realization that no matter how hard you try, there is only one ending for poor Telma. Added to the farming and survival mechanics is the daily visits of a merchant who will barter goods in return for produce, encouraging the player to think creatively about how to best make use of their limited time and resources to keep Telma going for another day. The merchant is the only human Telma comes into contact with throughout the game, and he also delivers letters from her relatives, which give the players the option to flesh out her story. At around 3 hours to complete, The Stillness of the Wind is a welcome break with tradition. It not only encourages players to harness their attention span, but also forces them to reckon with themes of aging and loneliness in a way that few other games have done successfully. And it does it with a hauntingly beautiful and stripped down art style. It's available on mobile, Steam, and the Nintendo Switch for $12.99 US. In second place we have Goose. Released by Spanish developers Nomada Studios in December 2018, this 2D puzzle platformer is a visual masterpiece unlike any game I've ever seen. You start off as a girl who, having lost her voice, also finds herself lost in a desolate, colourless wasteland. Without any dialogue or guidance, you're left to your own devices to traverse this beautiful Dali-esque wasteland, figuring out puzzles and bringing colours back to the world while ultimately searching for your voice. At the conclusion of each chapter, you acquire a new power, which opens up new avenues for exploration as you move on to the next area. Each of these new regions becomes awash with a fresh palette of watercolour hues, bringing the game to life. From a wasteland to a forest, to frozen caverns, to an underwater maze, and finally to a moonscape mirror wonderland, each frame in Greece is a breathtaking work of art in its own right. At times I found myself stopping for several minutes just to admire its scenery, filled with otherworldly critters and surreal structures. From beginning to end, the overworld is weaved together into one ever-expanding map, with no loading screens in between chapters. The camera zooms in and out as you enter different sections, allowing the player to fully admire the sheer scale and beauty of the game. This makes Greece not only feel vast, but also makes it a fully immersive, single-player experience. While there are often multiple directions you could choose to take, the level design is so intuitive that I never felt disoriented. The game is sporadically interspersed with boss fights that are visually, if not mechanically, impressive. Nevertheless, they do succeed at infusing the game with a degree of drama and urgency, helping change the pace and keeping you engaged. I honestly couldn't recommend this game highly enough. At just $16.99 in the Nintendo Switch US eShop, this game is a must-have for Switch owners, who can enjoy this experience both on the big screen and on the go. But for those of you who don't have a Nintendo Switch, don't worry, this game is also available on Steam. Finally, for the top spot, we have none other than A Short Hike. Released in July 2019 by yet another first-time developer, Adam Griou, this game is a wonderful blend of 90s pixelated delight with a gorgeous 3D overworld. You play as Claire, a young bird who's just arrived on a small island for a short holiday. Your mission? To climb to the top of the island's tallest peak. As you explore this beautiful setting, you'll discover treasures, mini-games and side quests, not to mention characters abounding with charm. What's so impressive about these characters is the way in which the dialogue feels so authentic and snappy. While I normally find myself skipping through the dialogue in most games, A Short Hike's dialogue is the first of any game to get me genuinely interested. Rather than feeling like a chore or a boring obstacle, it actually succeeds at making the characters feel real. As you travel through the island, you'll collect and purchase feathers. This is the progression mechanic that opens up new areas which were previously too steep to climb. But this is no linear experience, as you are free to head anywhere you wish, as and when you like. This is reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, where the whole map is available from the beginning of the game. Yet, by increasing your stamina through quests, more areas become easily accessible. Also like in Breath of the Wild, where I would race to the top of a mountain and glide off into the horizon, in A Short Hike, I found myself scrambling to the highest point I could reach, just so I could glide around the island and repeat it all over again, all the while stumbling upon new areas while enjoying the breathtaking retro 3D scenery. And as if the game didn't look gorgeous enough, the music score is truly magical. Again, like in Breath of the Wild, music is triggered by different areas and actions, transitioning seamlessly between songs and silence. Like the overworld, the music is pure joy and deserves a review all unto itself. At about 1.5 hours, this game is unabated, non-stop autumn fun. Alongside a stunning overworld, the magical soundtrack deserves a record all in its own, and the adorable characters could fill multiple shelves worth of plushes. At $4.99, there is no excuse not to own this game. Unfortunately, it's only available on Steam at the moment, but I have to say this game is a perfect fit for the Switch. So I do hope Nintendo will bring it to the eShop eventually. A Short Hike is the quintessential autumn game. So after I finished recording this video, a new game came out that is perfect for autumn. But I was too lazy to redo the whole thing from scratch. So here at number X is Untitled Goose Game. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a goose? Paddling around traditional English villages and taking in the scenery? If so, then this is the game for you. What could possibly be more beautiful, pure and innocent than In Untitled Goose Game, you are, well, a goose, whose main purpose in life is annoying the poor inhabitants of a quaint English village. From stealing a bra to trapping a child in a telephone box, the game is full of devious little challenges that will have you in stitches. The challenges come in the form of to-do lists, which are as absurd as they are hilarious. Each time you complete a to-do list, a new area opens up, and with it, a new roster of people to annoy. While some of the items on the lists are fairly self-explanatory, others will require you to improvise and think outside the box. I could go on and on about how much fun I had with this game, but honestly, your time would be better spent seeing for yourself. This is one of the few puzzle games I've ever played that actually makes you forget that you're playing a puzzle. It's pure escapism of the funniest kind. It had me laughing so hard, in fact, that my wife actually started to worry about me. Apparently, being a goose and locking a shopkeeper in her garage isn't society's idea of normal. The inspired piano score, based on Debussy, tracks your adventure seamlessly, adding a layer of comic relief and tension when you perform certain actions or get too close to someone. With so many great games vying for your attention in 2019, Untitled Goose Game will surely become one of your favorites, and one you will not forget in a lifetime. It's so silly and wonderful and original. You just have to try it out. It's currently available on PC and Mac, and is also on sale on the Nintendo Switch for a mere $15 US. So hurry up and get it while the sale is still on. For Steam users, I'm afraid you'll have to wait until late 2020. So there you go, this wraps up this video. Let me know what autumn games you think I should check out in the comments below, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!